Hello everyone and welcome back to our 10th episode of Crypto News Roundup. I'm CRYPTICLILAC. I'm joined with blockchain expert Dr. VIN MENON. And today I want to ask Vin what's on his radar in the crypto world.
Team Solomid, more popularly known as TSM, have signed a massive $210 million spanning over 10 years with popular cryptocurrency exchange FTX. This partnership with another newish industry, relatively speaking, with tremendous growth in popularity, sounds like a very strategic move.
FTX logos and branding cannot be used for Riot game titles such as League of Legends and Valorant, as they have very specific rules prohibiting certain classes of sponsors like cryptocurrencies. Does this mean that the $210 million is not worth as much as the reports suggest?
They won't be allowed to use their names in tournaments, but are going to make their way to create some other purpose like contents created, which garners much more eyeballs than the sponsored events. I'm led to believe, for instance, during the last year or two, we have all been seeing the boom of chess along with crypto. Grandmaster Hikaru Nakamura, one of the key components of the chess boom, he is also a member of TSM and will be wearing TSM jerseys during the chess events. This is just one example, and I'm sure folks at TSM and FTX did proper due diligence before coming up with the figure $210 million. I got to say, I love this move by FTX. Interestingly, this is not the first esports organization crypto exchange sponsorship that we are seeing. A lot of CSGO tournaments attracted sponsorships from crypto exchanges and Coinbase primarily, and I believe they are invested heavily in esports organizations named Evil Geniuses. If I recall correctly, Evil Geniuses were prohibited from using Coinbase branding on their GSCs for right sponsor events too.
I also believe they were involved in a basketball sponsorship.
Yes, FTX is involved with Miami's NBA team and changed the name of the stadium to FTX Arena. Coincidentally, Miami is a venue for the biggest Bitcoin conference in the world, the Bitcoin 2021 conference, which is happening right now.
I would love to be in Miami right now, just networking with all the other people in the space. But speaking of FTX, it was announced earlier this week that the Hong Kong-based crypto exchange launched an NFT marketplace. FTX Marketplace runs on the Ethereum blockchain and Solana, making this project come with less power-hungry intentions than some of the other NFT marketplaces on offer to us right now. Why? Because while FTX does tokenization of real-world stocks, bonds, and other securities, NFTs are non-regulated activities. FTX still deals with regulated assets.
And this is not the first time big crypto companies are moving into NFT marketplace. Earlier episodes, we talked about Gemini and Binance announcing NFT marketplace, and Binance starting from June. If the NFT revolution truly takes place, all these three companies are going to make a mark, and let's hope that this will happen. However, if you are an US citizen turning into this episode, like the FTX exchange, you will not be able to avail most of the services provided by FTX NFT because of the country's regulatory policies.
The US has really strict policies on crypto and related offerings. Along with the never-ending legal battle between Ripple and the SEC, we're seeing signs of further adoption in the US as Progressive Care, a Miami pharmacy, has begun to accept Bitcoin for COVID tests.
So this announcement came on the eve of largest Bitcoin conference, which is happening in Miami, where we saw Floyd Mayweather getting booed for talking about Ethereum in a Bitcoin only conference. And this is very promising towards the belief that companies across the world, whether small or big, across industries, believe in the future of crypto and ready to take the benefits brought by the crypto. However, there are hodlers who are unwilling to make use of this, as they may equate it with the pizza exchange story happened many years back when Bitcoin was in the early stages.
We all know the story of the software developer who agreed to pay $10,000 Bitcoins in exchange for 2 pizzas. That was in the early 2010s, and I would share the same sentiment. Why waste Bitcoins on a COVID test when it could be enough to fund an entire hospital wing? Would you regret selling your Bitcoin now? Would you regret using your Bitcoin now? That's exactly what market sentiment is, as buy orders seem to fill the order books more than the sell orders.
That's not all the news coming out of the US though, as there have been remarks from reputed Warren Davidson, who is on the opinion that the Federal Reserve is Dogecoining the US dollar. He accused of Fed printing basically infinite money. I get it, stimulus packages and printing money may sound to be easy way out right now, but the kind of impact which is going to happen over the period of time, hyperinflation of the US dollar might very well be the last thing we would like to know right now.
This feels exactly like quantitative easing back in 2008, and personally why I'm a huge proponent of cryptocurrencies is because I don't want the value of my assets to be determined by one central authority, especially not when there are better alternatives out there. So something like Dogecoin, I understand their decision to go capless, but it was never meant to be a replacement for the US dollar or fiat cash.
Speaking of Dogecoins and memes, earlier this week we saw Dogecoin quite literally memeing its way to a Coinbase listing and will be added to the Coinbase Pro later this week. Surprising, right?
I get that the coin is extremely popular, but the fundamentals of the coin are a bit dodgy. It has been technically supposed to have an infinite supply, as opposed to some of the other cryptocurrencies, and was not created with any purpose of being a quote-unquote serious cryptocurrency by any stretch.
And in no minor part, thanks to Elon Musk, we somehow seems to be in the world of face of a dog is spearheading the crypto boom. On top of that, Coinbase had not listed this coin for the longest time, and recently they listed the coin, and this became one of the top 63 tokens which is listed by Coinbase. Surprisingly, this is also added to the Coinbase Pro. Coinbase is the first publicly listed company in US stock exchange, and definitely it needs to maintain a certain standard. So now we can imagine that how popular Dogecoin is and why that made a mark in Coinbase listing process. However, don't believe the tokens which is listed association with the exchange as well, and do your investigations and studies before you invest into any tokens.
With Elon working closely with the Doge team, it might be a coin that's worth to consider. However, what do you think about his interest in solving these scalability issues surrounding the blockchain world?
His solution to tinker with the block size of Dogecoin blockchain to increase the scalability, I believe, is not viable in the long run. We have had projects in the past where they have to attempt to create coins doing exactly but not to avail. The end result is there are multiple projects which failed, and only certain nodes could actually scale. Rest of the situations, the decentralization purely was challenged, something which is extremely important for cryptocurrencies. I believe he has some other ace up in his sleeve. Let's see what happens over the next few messages in his Twitter.
Whatever the solution is, the only thing that is certain is that massive resources are involved in making crypto a true alternative to fiat currencies. When that day comes, I'll be right here with Dr. VIN dissecting the ins and outs of the solution. I'm afraid that's all the time we have for this episode, and until next time, I'm CRYPTICLILAC signing out with Dr. VIN.
That's when the colors started to change.